Good afternoon, everybody. Surprise Thursday. Welcome to Mystical Mistakes Live TV. Thank you for joining. I will wait a few minutes while everyone joins. I will say, first off, with housekeeping, if you can like and share the feed, that would be fantastic, so we can get the word out there and help as many people as we can. And by doing that, I would ask you if you could join in and share that. For those of you who are new to my feed, thank you so much for joining. For those who are regulars, there's a bit of housekeeping up front where we share the page. So I'm just going to go in while a few people are joining and share to a few groups, just so they know that we're live and active. And if you could do the same, that would be fantastic. This is the day I've chosen because for my regulars, you all know that I normally do Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. And from this point forward, it will be, excuse me, it will be still Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. and it will also be Thursdays at 12 midday. So that's exciting for you guys to get a bit more of me, so to speak, in answering your questions. As I said, I will just wait till it looks like a few of you are jumping on, which is fab. So it's better if you're specific with your questions. So if you want to start firing through some questions, and I'll get through as many as we can. My voice has been perfect all day. The minute I come on live, I've got a frog in my throat. But that's okay. We will get through that because it is certainly not COVID. I think we've had enough COVID information to last us a lifetime. That's just the way that is. Okay, so I'll share to one more group because we're getting a few of you now. So, and then we can kick off if everybody's ready to be involved. And I do feel that I am getting a few newbies jumping on board, which is looking fab. But as said, this will be a regular Tuesday nights 8 p.m. Sydney Australia time and Thursdays at midday. Okay, so let's start having a look. Stella, I like how you can comment when you're out shopping. Never mind. That's all good. Hello, Tony. Good afternoon, Lola. Thank you so much for sharing. Joanne, Melanie. Oh, you're all doing such wonderful things, aren't you? Samantha, good afternoon. Tash, good afternoon to you too. Clearly you get a choice of Tuesday nights or Thursday midday. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Karen. Deborah, good afternoon. I'm very well, thank you. Even though there's a bit of a frog in my throat when I started, but yeah, it's good. Lynn, good afternoon to you. Welcome. If any of you guys are new, if you wouldn't mind letting me know where you're watching from, that would also be fantastic. It's always good to know. I know it goes out to some international people, which I'm very, very grateful for, and because I have an abundance of international clients that come through privately for readings, which is fantastic. So that's all good. Hello, Karen. Hello, Robin. Great name. Michaela, Joanne, Paula. Oh, welcome, Paula. Good afternoon. I can see I've already got one troll. Geez, that didn't take long, did it? I'll give the troll 5 seconds of fame. That's the problem with this. Facebook are aware of it. But for those of you who are new, my name is Ms Tique. I am a psychic medium clairvoyant. I can connect directly with spirit. I also do intuitive healings. I'm a psychologist, psychotherapist, as well as a holistic counsellor. I do a lot of intuitive work. I help victims of domestic violence. I do a multitude of things, and hence coming on here, it does get to broaden the audience perspective on tuning into me as well, and seeing, and it gives you a chance to have a look what I do, and and if you'd like to come through for a private reading, you can always inbox me on my Ms Tique Psychic Medium page, and then we can go from there. Or we can go on my website. My website is scrolling on the bottom, which is all good. Michaela, you're joining us from New England. Thank you so much for that. And Lynn, you're in New York, Canada. Awesome. Hello, Alison. Melanie's from MacArthur. Angela, Happy New Year to you from New Zealand. Bless you. Courtney, hello. Yes, Tony, I'm aware I've got a troll. It's unbelievable, but yeah. Okay. All right, let me go back up the top. Let's go down in order. I want to have a look here. Who is Spirit directing me to at first? As I said, guys, if you've got any specific questions rather than generals, because this is live, please just ask the question outright. Robin, I'm going to come to you. And people that know me well also know that I say everything with the greatest respect as well as hearing directly from spirit. I do have cards here that I'll have a quick look at as well with your question. I also have those out just as also to clarify what I hear from spirit, and so it gives you a broader perspective on what's going on. So you're asking me if you'll make a profit from doing Reiki. My first question to you is, and again, I say everything with the greatest respect, Robin, so please don't take this the wrong way. In looking at, if your main question is, will you make a profit from doing Reiki? Are you doing then Reiki for the right reasons? I mean, Reiki is all about helping people get through certain things, realigning energies and all sorts of things. So if you're in the line of business with the focus in your mind of actually helping people, yes, you will definitely make a profit because you're in it for the right reasons. However, spirit is guiding me to virtually look at this and sort of say, if you're in it just to make money, you need to reevaluate why you're doing it. I feel with you that you have a long history of wanting to help others, but I feel like that you've been burnt in the process, and being burnt in the process makes you kind of reevaluate how you do things and how you kind of run the business. So I guess spirit is drawing me to proposing the question to you is, if you're doing it for the love of it and doing it for the right reasons of helping many in need, then absolutely, yes, you'll make a profit, because people will feed off your energy, as you know, as much as you will feed off theirs and redirect their energies into the parts of the body that they would need. So that is absolutely a wonderful way of helping people by shifting and moving all those energies. So I thank you for doing that. But yeah, just be mindful of how you're approaching certain things and how you're talking about enhancing the business, because I see that there's excuse me, I will take you probably another 4 months from here, a little bit of a reshuffle, a little bit of a rethink, and I don't know if you actually want to send me either a logo or your color scheme, because I'm hearing from spirit that there's a couple of colors or something in the mix that isn't quite grabbing people's attention, if you know what I mean. So I'm happy to look at that and advise accordingly if you wish to do that. In hindsight, what I want to say to you is that you are on the right path. That you've certainly had some mixed, like a mixed bag of fruit, is the way the spirit says it, although mixed bag of fruit was a way of talking about something else years ago, but you've certainly had your challenges through COVID, and it certainly has made you stop and kind of think, do you know what else do I need to do to emphasize my abilities out there? So I actually want you to keep going with it, because you are very good at what you do, but I want mindset. Have a reevaluate on how you're looking at things and how you're presenting it as such, because then I think that you'll go far. And in hindsight, I shouldn't keep saying the word hindsight, but in theory, then probably another few weeks before there's going to be a little bit more of an influx of people wanting and people desiring and people actually understanding that, Reiki can help them in many ways, shapes or forms. So I hope that helps you. And let me know how you go and let me know what you think about that. As I said, in that I say everything with respect. So thank you so much for your question. Just let me know. Okay. Deborah, I'm going to come to you. Welcome this afternoon. I'm going to come to you. Sweetheart, I don't see and I don't feel anything major. I feel there's a lot of I feel there's a lot of upheaval, there's a lot of anxiety, and the anxiety, again, with all due respect, the anxiety is pushing out I have to say scenarios in your body that feels like there's more going on than what is. I do feel that you've had a couple of major health issues in the past, but I think your anxieties are leading back to, are you going down that same path? Spirit's got me right in the throat very early. Are you going down that right path? Like, is your health going to suffer like it did in the past? So that's what I'm feeling, that the parts of your subconscious is asking those questions and kind of putting your anxieties on high alert to go down that path. I don't feel there's anything major coming up. Like, I feel there's a few niggly things, but I feel that the niggly things, and with all due respect, I feel that the niggly things are getting pushed to a heightened feeling and a stronger sense of feeling that something is wrong because of anxiety. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for you to have anxiety, because anxiety is very much just our body's reaction to certain things, and it's the extra adrenaline that goes that we're pumping through our bodies that makes us like a little bit fearful, a little bit anxious, and so forth. So I feel with you that in the past there's been a couple, Spirit has shown me two major health scares that really probably at the time scared the bejeebers out of you, but somewhere in your subconscious keeps going back to those scenarios, and that is fueling the anxiety. So if that makes sense, if you can let me know, that'd be fab. Because I just feel there's just something. There's something that's fueling inside you. There's probably something going on where doctors have been kind of vague with it, and henceforth, being vague, your subconscious has kind of grabbed it and gone, oh, is it vague because it's spreading? Is it vague because they don't know what to do, or don't know how to talk to me, or they don't know what it is and it's just going to get worse, all that sort of stuff, okay? So, I just feel there's a bit of anxiousness going on there, around there, if that makes sense. But if you can let me know, that'd be fabulous. Michelle, 1 in 2021, I will relocate and get a new job. This early in the piece of 2021, I actually don't see a move. I see that it's very high on your cards, pardon the pun. It's something that you've probably wanted to do last year, is what I'm being directed to. But of course, having COVID hit and upheaval everyone's lives, it kind of just upset the apple cart. It upset you focusing and putting your true intentions of what you really wanted to do with that. So there's a feeling and a sense, not necessarily the need. There's not a need to relocate, but the want and the desire is there. I'm being shown that you've kind of got something you've kind of got something in your mind that you would like to explore, and I think you're trying to find where that is. But Spirit is saying if you can kind of put that to the side for the moment and roll, silly saying, roll with the punches, but roll with it in a way of just trying to manifest that you would like to relocate. Although I don't actually see a move, because I don't see kind of walking off and moving as such till about September. I have to be honest. There doesn't seem to be anything earlier in the mix for that. However, in saying that, I have to also look at the other part of your question with a new job. And I'm not actually being directed to anything at all. I think you've been taken for granted. I'm being told that, where you are, and excuse me for saying where you have been in work locations, that you have been taken for granted. But it has made you stronger. It has made your self-worth and your self-recognition to kind of go, do you know what? I'm better than that. And if they don't want to use my abilities to what I'm capable of, well, then they don't deserve me. And if you haven't said that to yourself, you need to start saying that to yourself as of today, because there's been a lack of respect there for a little while. And I think you've come to a point that you're saying to yourself, well, bugger everything. If I get a new job and I move, I can start from scratch. And if that's actually what you're thinking, manifest that in a different way so it doesn't come across a little bit negative. Look at that and saying, I want a new journey. I want to embrace a different area. I want to find something that suits me for me, rather than having this picture of a particular house saying, I need to have that house. Do you know what I mean? So there's a different way and a different mindset of thinking about that, yeah? And once you can do that, then different things will start to happen for you. But it's more about you not taking on board the stuff, the disrespect from before. Don't carry that with you. When you've got employers that don't respect you, they don't deserve you. And it's more about you sort of saying, instead of saying, oh, they think I'm no good, so I must be no good, because that's putting all negativity into you. It's more about going, do you know what? I need to go find someone who wants me for me and who appreciates everything I bring to the table. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I see happening for you, Michelle. So thank you so much for joining, and let me know how you go with that. Okay. Karen, good afternoon. Can you see me teaching numerology? I'm thinking of teaching it. Okay. Thinking. Thinking instead of acting. Karen, I need you to act. You know numerology. You've studied it. You've been using it for a while. Your qualities in being able to deliver all the explanations and the number cycle through numerology, whether it's birth force numbers, whether it's family force numbers, whether it's an independent life force number for somebody, you know how to do all that, and you know how to do it all with your eyes closed. So it's about time. It's about time you taught. What's been stopping you? What's holding you back in stopping you? I'll tell you what's been holding you back is that you haven't been confident in yourself. You've allowed something, and maybe it's a spirit of saying one comment. So one comment that you've had along the way has seemed to have capsulated you thinking, oh, no, I can't do that because I'm not good enough. Yes, you are good enough. You can do this with your eyes closed. You can do it backwards. You're very, how will I put it? You're very structured in doing all the numerology, like, doing all the plus minuses and moving it around and all that with planet, all that sort of thing. You know this back to front. I'm doing this. I want to get you and shake you. You know this back to front. So get out there, do it. I don't know where you can start teaching it. Maybe look at your, I don't know, I'm not sure whereabouts that you're from. Maybe look at some, doing some, maybe to start off with, organising your own spiritual workshops and sort of saying, putting something out and putting something together as in numerology, like, as opposed to doing it at a place. Otherwise, where you live, have a look around at some places where you think you can start to hold like a small crowd and do group activities, to do then like a one-on-one, to enhance people to understand the art of numerology, where it came from, where it was established, and how it was used many, many years ago. All that sort of stuff. This. Get off your bum. Do it. Do it, my love. No questions asked. Jeff from New South Wales, does anyone have a message for me? Well, that's a bit broad, Jeff, but let's have a look. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining. I don't think you've joined me before on one of my lives, so thank you for, there we go. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate that you do. Okay, Jeff, I want to say to you, okay, so Spirit is saying two different things to me. They're throwing the word utilizing your responsibility at me, but they're also saying that you're going through an upheaval of changes. But some things have come to an end that you're not so happy about. So where the word responsibility came in, I just want to touch on that for a moment, and I'm not saying that you're not responsible. What I'm saying is that Spirit is saying you've got a lot of responsibilities on your plate, and sometimes you kind of don't know what to do first to get something done and out of the way before you move on to something else. So it seems like you've had a lot of responsibility placed on your shoulders. And with all due respects, it's like some days that you don't know where to prioritize certain things. And I think that that's created some stress around you. And again, with respect, being a bit short with people because you've got so much going on and so much in your mind. Some days that you just, there's just so much up here that you're not putting them, like pull them all out and park them. I always say to people when they've got too much going on here, pretend you're actually putting them out of your skull. So pull one out and parking problem number one over here, and then I'll pull out number two and park number two and park number three and so forth. And then you can bring one back at a time. So you're bringing back number two or bringing back number three, and you're only working with that one at one time. It kind of helps you separate that madness that sometimes goes on in our heads where we're thinking of 20 things at once and just getting overwhelmed with it all. So I feel like with you that a lot of responsibility is being placed upon you, and I think that's with all due respect, I think that's with the passing of somebody that everything was kind of thrown at you, and you're expected to step up and be the person to solve everything, and you're the go-to man. So that's what I feel there. But I also feel a sense of, how do I say it? Again, with respect, like a sense of gratitude that the person who has passed. It's so hard sometimes to say certain things, that you feel that you're okay because that person's not in pain anymore. Like I'm being directed to, you watch that person, and I get a male figure, you watch that person suffer to a degree, and there was nothing more that you could do. And it was the painstaking of watching and wondering what, and you knew you couldn't. And I think that has kind of stuck with you. I need to tell you that person is absolutely fine. I believe it's either a dad or a granddad, because I'm getting a masculine energy comes through with that. And they're virtually saying, I'm sorry about all the responsibility that's bestowed on you, but you're man enough, you're big enough to be able to go, do you know what? I can do this. I just have to work out better ways of doing it. Yeah. But I feel that this person has who always was like a kind person. When you were younger, I would say a very stern person, not an arrogant stern, but a stern person who, when they had something to do, sometimes they were just short, sharp, and to the point. And some people took that as arrogance, but it actually was just getting the job done. That's not the way you have to go about things. But you have to find your own mojo, so to speak. So that's what I get for you there, Jeff. So if you want to let me know how that sits with you and if it resonates to you at all, that would be amazing if you could let me know. That would be good. Hello, Catherine from Rhode Island. I love I love these people from overseas. It's amazing. I hope you're well. Who have I got here, Alison? Can you tell me something specific about my next rental location? 1 or 2 bedroom, more. How will I find it? When? Wow, that's a lot of questions. When I ask people to be specific, I don't mean I don't mean you can ask 20 questions. That's a whole reading, Alison. Book in and have a complete reading, and we can go through, all of it. Anyway, just let me see what I'm being thrown at. Okay. Wow. Okay. So off the cuff, Alison, I want to tell you that, well, 2 bedroom. In actual fact, I want to say 2, and I want to say a nook, but I think it's bigger than a nook. I think it's a extra study, or enough space, certainly, to have like a study type computer room, or even like a little workroom as such, to keep that totally separate and away from certain things. I see that. I actually see you going north of a border. So the closest border to you, then I see going up. So I see that as you're going north. Wow, okay. I don't see anything really. I don't see you packing up boxes as such till about November. So that's a fair way off. But I'm being pointed to 11. It's not, and when spirit shows us numbers, and I have to just explain this for in people, if people are showing me if spirit is showing me a number right here in my face, then that's 11 hours, 11 days. If it's a bit further out, then it's 11 weeks. If it's further out, where it's like, to me, it's the other side of the room, that's 11 months. So that's how spirit works with numbers. So it wasn't being shown directly in my face, which means that because it was over there, then it becomes 11 months. So 11, which is November. Wow, okay. However, like, I actually feel okay about that, because spirit is saying that you are so, oh my God, again, with respect. I have to keep saying that today. Spirit are kind of throwing things at me that I feel like I have to say with respect. There is mixed emotions with you. There is mixed emotions about, and I guess that's why you've asked the question the way you have about, when, where, how, and, what if, and what size. You don't know what you're looking for. And I want to say to you, probably 2 years ago, you had this vision of a house, of what you wanted to go into, but that vision is gone for whatever reason. So whether you had a couple of years ago, whether you saw something that you wanted and you missed out on it, and from that point forward, you don't know really what you want, then something has kind of got in the way, where you're not being specific with yourself. Sit down and manifest it. Sit down and write to the universe, your angels, or whatever way you meditate. Write down specifically what you want. I want, a 4-bedroom house. I mean, I said, 2 and a study, but I'm just using that as an example. I want a 4-bedroom house. I want a kitchen that overlooks a backyard. I want a pool if necessary. I want north-facing aspects so I can have a garden. All these specific things you have to write down. You have to be the one in charge of what you want. Okay? And excuse me. And on touching on your question, when you're saying how will you find it, when you manifest the specifics in how you want it, you will just see it. You will see it on a like a computer, on a what do you call it, like a real estate website. You would just be browsing through, and I don't want you to go literally hunting for this. I just want you to, now take it a bit easy, manifest down, write down what you actually want, but then go through the real estate thing once a week, maybe. Just scroll through. Don't put in a particular suburb. Just scroll through, see what's there. It will jump out at you. Yeah. But I actually don't see the move till about November. So, Alison, thank you so much for your question. And let me know how that sits with you. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down to make sure I don't have any more trolls. Okay. That's a good thing at this point. So, where am I going? I actually want to come to Melanie. Focusing on a side gig. Melanie, I want to pose the question, why is it a side gig? If it's a side gig to whatever else you're doing in life, you need to separate or to work out where your passion really lies. If your passion is on one more than the other, you've got to sit down and work out how you can expand that, how you can throw more into it to make it really come alive. Because to me, it's not quite at the alive part, and maybe because there's not enough effort going into it. And again, with respect, maybe there's not enough time that you've put towards it. And when you're calling it a side gig, I see it growing to more than that, but it needs more input from you. It needs you to kind of step up and go, do you know what? I want to do that 25 hours a week, 30 hours a week, whatever. I don't know. I'm assuming because Spirit says that you're busy doing something else at the same time, hence why you've called it a side gig. I think the side gig is where your passion lies as opposed to what you're already doing. And I'm hearing throw some more time and energy in there because it needs to be uplifted. It needs to move on instead of, how would I say, laying a bit idle. And laying a bit idle is not going to make it expand, yeah? If you're willing to put some extra time in the boat, so to speak, to progress that along. Spirit tells me that it will start to flourish and virtually start to flourish by the end of February, but you have to commit to this. You have to either say, do you know what, I'm only going to give it 10 hours a week. If you only give it 10 hours a week, then there's not going to be much expansion going on from February onwards. It's virtually going to stay quite flat. It's you putting more into it, and I don't need to know what the side gig is, but you've started it for a reason because it's something that you're passionate about doing. Throw your stand up to that passion. Stand up to, do you know what? This is what I'm good at. Then you need to give it more, and by giving it more, will allow it to just flourish, to grow, to expand, to do all sorts of things. Where you could look at down the track, probably 12 months from now, that it becomes then your livelihood, your full passion, where you're devoted virtually all time to it. And I want to say to you that maybe in the beginning, finance held you back, but if you don't, what is the old saying? You've got to spend money to make money. And in the horrible times that we're all experiencing COVID, that's a bit rough on people, but it's absolutely true. Because if you spend nothing on it, and you can give it all your time, but it's not progressing from, say, one point to another. If your website, if you've got a website and it's a little bit dull, spend some time, jazz it up, embrace it and make it exciting. If you haven't got business cards, again, build some excitement around it. Like, there's Spirit just keeps saying to me, that more time and effort needs to be thrown into it. And I do say that with the greatest respect, yeah. So I hope that helps you, Melanie, and let me know how you go. Okay. Ashna, I don't know if I pronounced your name correct or not. Thank you for joining. I want to tell you that it's not bad energy. Okay. Too many movies project that Spirit is bad energy, and it's not. Spirit is all. It is just energy, and I want to assure you that it's not bad energy that is in your home. It's more about understanding that the person may break things, may move things around, but that's to get your attention so you can actually listen to them and connect with them and find out whether it's somebody that you know, or find out whether it's somebody who used to own the house previous to you and whatnot. And once you acknowledge them and try to talk to them, it's you'll find your feet and you'll understand that it's not bad energy at all. Yeah. So I hope that helps you. Okay. Where am I going? Okay, Rebecca. Insight on how I get back on track, feeling exhausted right now. There's plenty of things going on with you, my love. It seems like you've been how do I say? It seems like you're going around in circles. It seems like you're trying something and something's not working, and then you go back to old ways, and then something doesn't happen there, and then you change again. So there's a lot of stop, start, and a lot of trying and going nowhere. That's what I see there. So I see a lot of confusion, and I see a lot of probably unanswered questions, is what I want to say to you. Health-wise, I don't proclaim to be a health intuitive as such, but Spirit does certainly show me a few things health-wise, but also too, like, my other studies of psychotherapy and holistic counselling. Those studies also bring into mind some of the things that our bodies can be lacking when we give so much and we're feeling exhausted. And if that's the case, I would ask you to probably see a naturopath and test your magnesium and iron levels, because it seems like something's out of whack there. Also, how much of B12 are you absorbing, and whether it's an activated B12 or just one that's not activated. If a B12 is not activated, you can take 10,000 milligrams of non-activated B12 and think that it's storing in your body, and it won't. So just have a look at what you're taking. People shouldn't have to live on vitamins to get that, but there seems to there's something that's going on stress-wise with you that you're not actually retaining all the nutrients from food. Some seem to stick and some don't. So there's a misbalance there. But I actually want to say to you, that's because of all the stress that you're under and all this chop change, try this, try that. And there's a multitude of things going on. Henceforth, I would probably suggest a complete reading for you at some point if you're willing to, because there's a lot of spirits guiding me to, there's a lot of questions even from past that you have unanswered. And sometimes it causes you a bit of stress, because sometimes patterns repeat themselves. And when patterns repeat themselves, it's like that you sit there and go, oh God, this again? Oh, it must be me. I'm the common denominator of the equation. You're the common denominator because you're in it, but the common denominator then needs to go, well, hang on a minute. Why does it keep happening? What's my trigger? So I actually want to say to you, there's a trigger there. So if we can work on that, bring that to the surface, heal that, move it forward, because then you'll feel better about yourself, and then you won't feel that tight, anxious feeling that starts to come on you. So just let me know how you go, and we can sort it out from here. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for your question. Okay, Courtney. Hi, Ms Tique. I'm struggling already into this new year. Haven't had the best start already. I really need some guidance from my spirits. Courtney, I'm sorry that you haven't had a great start. I don't think a lot of people have, actually. I think it's because it was the what I want to call the false start, because depending on where you live and so forth, some people were thrown back into lockdown. Some countries are still in lockdown and into their third wave. People have not seen people for a long time. Christmas and New Year was a bit of a flop in majority of places. So it hasn't given us that excitement to start a new year. Do you know what I mean? We all wanted 220 to finish, and 221 to bring us, oh my God, Spirit just threw all my cards everywhere. My goodness. Wow. I haven't had that happen for a while. Pretty funny. Throw one, but not throw half the deck. We haven't had that, oh my God, 2021 is here. We were grateful to shut the door in 2020, but it's kind of given us a false start is what I want to say there, because a lot of people are actually struggling. And then we've had a real upheaval with unusual weather patterns, and I think we've already gone into the phase of our first supermoon. So everything has kind of been thrown at us in many, I want to say, stressful ways to bring in 2021. Having said that, though, you've got a lot of personal stuff going on, and I feel also Spirit are directing me to two people in particular that have been throwing you a lot of disrespect. And when you're fighting mentally with people who disrespect you, sorry, I've got something in my eye, with people who are disrespecting you, and it becomes then that your voice is not heard. And when your voice is not heard, a part of you, I have to say it this way, part of you dies, part of you gives up in a sense of, well, if no one's hearing me, why do I speak? I actually want to say to you that the people that you're trying to be heard to are the wrong people. You need to find other people, not necessarily as your sounding boards, but you need to find some other people that are acknowledging what you're saying and hearing you and understanding you. I know a lot of people here won't understand what I've just said, but I know you will. I know you'll get it. And your your platform, if that's the other way of saying it, is the wrong platform at this point, because those people aren't listening. Oh my God, it's pouring with rain all of a sudden. Those people aren't listening. You've got to swing that around. It's time for you to sort of say, do you know what? I'm a really good person and I need to be heard because what I've got to say is important. Once you get past that point and get onto the right platform, everything will start to come into a better alignment, if that makes sense. But there is a lot that's going on, and there is a lot that you have to put aside now and not deal with separately, but start prioritizing, because a bit of the priorities have gone out the window because there's just too much. And when there's too much going on here, we kind of forget our priorities because we just get overwhelmed. And that's what I feel with you. There's a lot of, I feel that you don't sleep well because there's still all this going on at night, yeah? So you let me know how you go about that, Courtney. And if you need to come in, if you need to see me or have a phone reading or whatever, and have a complete one where we can break down everything and get you on the right path, then I think that's worthwhile for you. But yeah, just let me know how you go. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going through to make sure that I don't have any trolls. Which is normally what I have to just quickly look at. Sorry, guys, I'll be 2 seconds. It's always best to make sure there's nobody harassing anybody at the end of the feed, because I can only see about 4 things at once, so I have to scroll down every so often so I can get a bit of a view of what's going on, yeah? Angela, is this year going to be a better year for my kids, so I'm able to direct more time into what I want to do, or keep investing in my candles? Is this year going to be a better year for my kids, so I'm able to direct more time into? Okay, Angela. So based on the wording of this question, your kids are taking up a lot of your time, and children do, love. I mean, they're years that you're never going to get back. You know, evaluate that the best way that you know how, because you never get time with your kids back. And while they're in the years where they need your attention, yes, they do need your attention. I do understand, though, from the spirit is sort of saying that, you know, your candles give you what they call play money. So I don't see your candles as being your main income as such, because spirit are calling it your play money, and that doesn't mean that spirit is disrespecting what you do. It's play money is just you know, call that in the sense of it's not a full-time job where you're guaranteed X amount of money per you know, per week. It's not that line of work. I'm being I hate this. I hate it when I've got to say I'm being directed to say, change your times up. If spirit are throwing that at me, that's more about sit down one day and actually write down what you do with your times for the day. And it's when you look back at that, you'll kind of see the holes that are missing, where you can go, do you know what? If I'm just a bit more structured in, do I want to use the word timetable? I actually do for the first couple of months, because if you do yourself a timetable and you see how well everything functions, with all the time with the kids, all the time for housework, all the time for cooking, all the time for candles, when you write it all down and put it somewhere where you walk past and see it all the time, you will actually be able to go, oh my God, that's what's missing. And you'll pinpoint it and you'll just go, wow. And then you'll change everything up, and it's almost like you'll work to that timetable. And when you work to that timetable, my God, things just are so much better. You'll actually even have more time to put more into your candles that will actually bring you a much bigger reward at no expense of the children, if that makes sense. You know, I think the children are fine. I think that you're referring to some issues at school and issues with somebody that was previously in your life. That will sort itself out, because things are coming to a head. That will actually sort itself out, and I don't need you to worry about that. So that all to me feels fine. But yeah, it's more about you being more structured with your time, my love. Okay. So I hope that helps you. Okay. Can you see if I'll be fostering kids again? Kim, I would not race into it and say yes right at this point in time, because I think there's a few things going on that require, how do I say it, require, why is spirit taking me down this path? Okay, so there's other things going on in your life, including some health stuff, where everything has to, they're showing me, oh my God, they're showing me, like, you know, all ducks in a row. So everything has to be done, okay, fine. So all your ducks have got to be in a row before you would even consider fostering a child. It's almost like they'll be looking at, and someone will be looking at you to make sure all your ducks are in a row. And right now I would say they're not. I think that there's 2 or 3 out of whack. And once you get those right, then I would say, you know, go for it with bells on. But I just don't think now is actually the right time. And I think it's going to take you probably another 5 to 6 months before you get all those ducks in a row. Yeah, it's more about, this sounds really weird, but it's more about that you have to be on top of everything before you're thrown into the mix of having other kids around. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Rob, I'll come back to you. I haven't been charging because I only want to help people, but everyone has been telling me to start charging. Oh, I guess, my love. Yeah. You're good at what you do. And that's why probably spirit directed me into your mindset because the question was posed, how would I say, you know, to spirit as a little bit, not a little bit money hungry, but a little bit, I have to say the word, like a little bit arrogant, but I guess that's maybe just the way that you'd written it, because that's the first thing that Spirit jumped on about, you know, being in the right mindset of doing it. If you've been doing all this for free, and it's wonderful that you can help people, but it's a business, you know, I mean, I have a law degree. For years, I had people asking me for legal advice. You know, I'm a psychotherapist, a holistic counselor. A lot of people always ask me advice. Yes, I'm a psychic medium and I connect with spirit. A lot of people ask me questions 24/7. These are my businesses. This is my livelihood. You know, if I, as a young person, like, you know, it was sure freebies and whatnot, and this is a live free feed, but this gives you just a little bit of taste about what's going on. When people are wanting really in-depth thing or awesome, they want to know about life-changing events, or they want to get rid of past traumas, yes, you book in to have a complete session. This is just a taste of what I am and what I do, because this is my livelihood. So, Robin, in your livelihood, you know, Reiki is also a very important part of our spiritual well-being and just our normal well-being, you know, and about keeping our chakras balanced and our energy levels balanced. So, yeah, stop. I have to say it this way because this is how I hear it. Stop being the people pleaser. It's okay to say no because it's your business. If your friends, whatever, just say you had been, I don't know, done a friends alignment or Reiki on them 5 times. If they're an accountant, have they done your tax 5 times for nothing? No, because that's their business. If they're an accountant, they're going to send you a bill for, you know, whatever. If you know, you might have mates around at some point helping you move furniture. But if they're moving you totally out of home, you know, you're paying for the truck, you're paying for the removals. They're not putting their hand up and going, oh, do you know what? We'll do the complete move for her. But, you know, we'll charge her a little bit less because we know her. But it's our business being removalist. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody has their particular things, and you need to expand on that. People will understand. Like people got upset with me in the first instance when I stopped giving them things for free, because when it becomes your business and your livelihood because you're good at it and you're good enough for it to be a business and you have the exposure and everybody knows that you're good, then why give everything away for free? No, you know. And with respect for people, you know, here, they come onto the, you know, my feeds with me. Yes, they're normally short, sharp answers as such, because, you know, you're getting a taste of me. This is my business, you know, in hindsight. So, and people need to respect. If I don't get to everybody on a live feed, I may get to them at another time. But if they're really wanting direction in their life or help in their life, it really is the time to book in for a reading. You know, that's fair's fair in love and war. So, Rob, yeah. Get on with, you know, creating your business and expanding in it and making sure that everybody is aware and saying it with a kind heart. You know, you say to people, you know, I'd love to heal you. This is my business. Would you like to book in? Simple as that. Would you like to book in? If they don't give it to them for free, love. You know, there's enough of us in the world that do a lot of other stuff for free. People should respect, yeah? Anyway, let me know how you go. Vicky, my love, hello. Is on planning an angel birthday party on the other side of. Why would she be doing that for you? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think there's a few surprises in store for you before we get to the 15th. I believe there'll be one in a couple of days. That's interesting. Okay. I know there's some things that you have in your mind that you want to get, but you haven't been able to get them as such. And I believe she will make way for that to happen with bells on. So I hear. And I believe one of the items I feel is out of your reach as such, but I feel like there's a massive surprise coming to you just before the 15th. I'd actually like you to let me know what that is, because she's even very secretive with me. As you know, she's normally really forthcoming with me, and tells me so much, but apparently it's a big surprise to enable you to do so much more. But okay, so she's playing games, and this is the cheeky side of your mum, where if you ask for all the answers now, nothing will be the surprise, and I want it to be a surprise because you're used to getting your own way. Vicky, I would never thought of that. Is that a usual comment for mum to say? That you usually get your own way? That's a little bit cheeky from mum today. Having said that, like there's I think you've been stuck on these a couple of things that you've been wanting. I think you've been stuck where certain things haven't worked out the way that you're hoping for, and yeah, it's just like an easier path. You'll be shown an easier pathway just before the 15th. So not necessarily on the 15th, but something, a surprise and an easier path gets shown to you just before the 15th. So please let me know about that. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm sure you'll let me know. Sure. Ah, I see. Okay. Deb, I didn't feel before Spirit was getting me in the throat, but I don't. With all due respects to your mum, because somebody passed of it doesn't mean they're handing it down to the next generations. Your throat problems, I feel, are very different, and I don't see that big C word for a start. I think yours are very, very different. And I think, I know you've probably had an ultrasound, and I think you've even had from what I'm being shown, I think you've already had the camera down the throat too. But I also been told that you're having another particular test soon, and it's a different one that you've had before, and that will probably give clearer answers. Is what I'm being shown. So yeah, I hope that's okay. Samantha, that's a pretty personal question for a live feed. I know your brother's come through before in readings with me. I think even the other week with Terry and myself as well. Yeah, it's pretty personal. I'm not sure why after 3 months there's no answers for you, because I feel the autopsy's been done. I also feel that the what do they call it? The like the toxin level things. I'm 100% sure that's been done. And look, I know from what I'm feeling, there's some question marks. However, I'm also getting told you're wow. I'm getting told that you're focusing on the bad instead of embracing that you can't change what has happened. I really don't think there's foul play. And as I said, I think it's too much of a personal thing to be. I think it's too personal for elaborating further. I know I said no foul play, but I think that's not correct. but I don't think it's the right forum to be expressing what I'm hearing. You and I both know about the blunt trauma to the back of the head. Yeah. I'm actually going to, Sam, I'm actually going to not proceed with that one, with that question. If you want to book in for a private reading where we can go through a whole lot more, that's up to you. I'm not forcing the issue, but I think this particular question is, a bit too personal, a bit too private for a public forum. And I'm sure with other connections that we've had, I'm sure you completely understand that. So just let me know how you feel about it, though. And I have got someone mowing the lawn now outside, so that's another great thing that everyone's hearing. So I might just excuse me, shut this a bit. So still just as loud, probably. Anyway, Samantha, please don't be upset with me for choosing not to do that, because I think under the circumstances and after a couple of live feeds here and so forth, I think you know and respect what I do, and I think that you'll understand why I've said what I've said. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Breezer, may I please ask if things with my ex will settle or karma do its thing? You got the little daggers out, love. It will settle, how can I say this, with the greatest respect. It will settle. Oh my goodness, hang on. It will settle when the games stop. So as I understand it, from a message that you privately sent me, there was something that was done that shouldn't have been done, and that's caused a little bit of chaotic behaviour, is what I want to say. And given the chaotic behaviour, old traits have also reared their ugly head, I want to say, with the other party, and that feeling of disrespect has come back. But I actually don't want you to be the person that, what is the old saying, points the bone for revenge, because revenge takes up a lot of energy. Just let everything take its place. As long as you're doing the right thing by you, as long as you're working on you, the more that you're worried about the other person and this karma going to come to that person, that's going to take up all your energy. So focus on you, focus on the kids, instead of focusing on what, is karma going to come back and get that person, and so forth and so forth. Because the best thing you can do, the best personal karma, is you getting on with your life and you being the best version of you. That's karma within itself, because the other person goes, oh my God, like she's not angry, she's not this, she's not, how come she's doing so well? That is the best karma, in showing the world that you know that you're on the right track, you're doing everything possible for you, and you're looking after your kids the best way you can. And I know you are. So, all that plays a big thing in, I'm doing well. And, people start to look at that and go, oh, well, she's doing a lot better than what I thought, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, okay. That's what I see there, yeah? So let me know what you think about that. You're right. It's something I do to teach the kids and give them play money. They went through some bullying and consumed a lot of energy. I so get it, though, because I give my time to everyone else and not for me. Yeah, Angela, it's time to, you're important too, Clearly this time of the day is not good for readings with mowing going on outside, which was only done the other day, so I'm surprised they're back. Giving some special time for you and understanding that you're important and you need that time for yourself as well. Absolutely, and you will be on the right track. I mean, you're doing great things with the kids, but you need to, you still need to understand that, you know, you're important too. You deserve, you know, you deserve to be okay, and you deserve to have some, you know, stuff for you. And when you get things in a time pattern, things will just, you know, fall into place. Things, you know, things will be so much better. So much better, yeah? So I hope that helps for you. And thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that, yeah? Let me see what's going on here. Okay, just a little reminder, if you can like and share the feed to groups or to your own page, you know, that bounces you up on the screen as a sharer, and more chance of getting me to tune in, yeah? Anyway, I'm just going down and make sure there's no other trolls driving me nuts. No worries, Robin. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah. Okay. I just thought it was a bit cheeky. I don't think your mother's ever said it like that, yeah? But yeah. Deborah, please don't be scared. Don't ever be scared, because if you let things go because you have that anxious and that worried sensation, like if something, I'm not saying this with you, I'm just saying in general, if something is there, then it gets left unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like, I try to tell my brother 18 months that there was something wrong. I needed him to get checked. I needed this. And he kept telling me I was full of rubbish. He kept telling me, well, his exact words were, "You're full of shit." And he deteriorated and deteriorated. And I just said, please, Jeff, just go and get some tests. He didn't. Then the time he rang and said, you know, I'm crawling on my hands and knees. I can't walk. I can't do this. My head is going to burst. I said, but it's time. We need to go and get this sorted. And we did. He had 5 brain tumours, and it was all pressing on, you know, the way he could on the nerves to make him, all the areas to make him walk and all that sort of stuff. And one of his lungs was completely with cancer, and, you know, tried some treatment. It was never going to work, but tried it, and gone in less than 5 months. I mean, you know, his actual death anniversary was the other day. Like, he's been gone 7 years, but 18 months prior to that, something could have possibly been done. And I even said at his funeral, if you're a smoker, have a chest X-ray once a year. Whoopie-doo, 5 minutes or, you know, half an hour out of your day. Keep on top of these things. If you drink alcohol, have your liver function test done in a blood test every couple of months, just to keep abreast of it all being functioning properly. You know, if you're I don't know what other traits is there. If you're, I don't know, if you're getting masses of headaches that unexplained through stress or tension or whatever, go and have a brain scan once every so often, just to have a check. You know, women have to have other checks, you know, every so often. Men with their prostate, you know, all that sort of stuff. You know, women have to go and get mammograms and all that sort of stuff, just, you know, just to keep a check. If they capture something early, there is 100% chance it will just be sorted and everything will be okay. And Deborah, I'm not saying any of that to scare you any further. I'm just talking about that in general. But I don't want you to be scared to go and have certain tests, because if they can clarify in your mind that it's not what you're thinking because of what your mum passed on, then you don't get anxious about certain things. Please just go and have a test. Please. Please. Okay. Jeff, I'm coming back to you. Thank you for those words. The person I think you were referring to is my father, and I have been told by someone else I will be luckily financially this year. This is true. I don't know about the second half, Jeff. I mean, you work hard. You know, you're pretty specific in what you do. You know, I don't see a windfall as such. Like I don't see lots of money, but I see you being a little bit more comfortable and it releasing some of probably the stress factor that you have, probably that you've been thinking the last couple of months. Yeah, that's more about what I see there. I don't see it as a windfall of such. Yeah, but thank you for letting me know that. And I'm glad it was your dad, you know. Very nice energy came through. Where am I going next? Where am I going? I've done yours, done yours, done yours, done yours. Done yours. Okay, Sky, I'm coming to you. What will be the next best thing for me to do regarding this Scorpio man? let me say, with all due respect, you're your own worst enemy. You overthink a few things. This Scorpion man, like, very good with his words, but very sharp. Has a little bit, at times, a little bit short in how he speaks with you, but in general, overall, like quite a loving nature. But at times, that loving nature, yeah, doesn't back up the actions, is what I want to say there. What you choose to do with that is how you feel that you're being perceived in the whole thing. So if you feel like, for instance, I'm getting told, it's actually my grandmother telling me, where she's saying that at times that you feel like that you're not being respected for the woman that you are. If that is the case and you speak forward and nothing changes, then you need to change that. Yeah. If a person doesn't want to respect you, or doesn't want to understand that you're worthy of so much more, or you're worthy of being treated a little bit better, well, then you need to reevaluate everything. Yeah. Because I feel like, I almost feel like I'm on a knife edge with you. And I feel like you're torn between, no, I love, but no, I hate. No, I love, but no, I hate. And this going back to, I love, but I hate that they do that. But I love, but I hate it. I just feel like you're sitting on a knife edge, a fair bit. And it's what now you want to do with that knife edge is the important part of the next part of that equation, yeah? And if you're capable of putting all that in perspective and working out whether that's exactly what you want, then everything will be okay and you will know what your next move will be. However, I'm getting the sense that you feel that maybe you're a bit tired of that yo-yo. And if that's the case, then tie off the yo-yo strings, because anyone who wants to live in yo-yo land, it can get frustrating, it can get humiliating, it can hurt your heart, it can break your heart, and then you end up putting up a barrier where you start taking on the guilt that you think it's your fault, that it didn't work. So I need you to kind of be a little bit more freer and lovable to who you are, and go through that process and ask yourself some of those questions, because you'll answer your own question. Yeah. To me, I'm being pulled from pillar to post with spirit, and when spirit pulls me from pillar to post, it's normally because you're so confused and lost and not kind of knowing what is the best thing. The best thing is how it makes you feel. And if it makes you feel vulnerable, if it makes you feel disrespected, if it makes you feel unloved, well, then you know what to do. But if you want to continue feeling like that, then that knife edge is going to play havoc with you for some time. Yeah. So I hope you understand all that. And let me know how you go with it. That'd be great. Okay. How are you? Do you see anything exciting coming to me for the next couple of months? Emma, what I might see is exciting is maybe not what you're exciting, for what you'd want to be exciting. And that's really a general reading for, general questions for, a half hour or so reading. But I actually want to say to you that while you have why Spirit are pulling me in 3 different directions here. The main direction is I'll touch on because this is only alive. The main direction is your career path. You're embracing something new, but you're wanting to do that's new, but you're stuck. It seems like 10 steps forward, 20 steps back. It seems like that the love that you have for what you want to do is sometimes not what you can put your hands down in putting it all together. So I feel that you might need some help there, but I feel that you don't know the right people to give you a bit of a hand. So maybe resource what you're trying to achieve a little bit better. Like I say that with respect, because when you can resource or find someone who's probably like can offer a bit more knowledge, then you'll embrace a side of you that you've probably been waiting to do for a very long time. I feel like there's a couple of years where you've sat back on the fence and you've watched other people grow, and you're kind of going, do you know what? I have this ability. I know what to do. I just don't know how to put it in play. And it's that kind of thing that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball, yeah? So with respect, I feel that was probably the most important thing that Spirit was throwing at me. Also, too, was just quickly they were throwing at me that you're surrounded at the moment with a lot of drama. So either people are engaging you in their own drama, or there's a lot of drama that's going on within you where there's just too much for you to deal with right now and it becomes overwhelming. Either way, if it's other people's dramas, please distance yourself, because you don't want to be caught up in other people's dramas to the degree where you're going to bed at night wondering how else can you help them, how else do I need to do this or do this or do this to get them to a thing, because then you're missing out on working out the path that you need to follow. Yeah, because it seems to be that just a few too many people are leaning on you in that instance. So yeah, be very careful of that, because it can affect how you look at your day on the next day. Yeah. So let me know how you go with that, and I wish you success in getting that career thing right. Yeah, because it seems to be very, very important. Marina Don, I thank you for your question. I see that you've written it a whole heap of times to get my attention. However, on a live feed, it's not the done thing. For me to say if someone is still alive or not on a live feed is not very ethical. There's a lot of things in the background of this that, and I understand. I totally understand, because I work with New South Wales police officers and I work with missing persons and stuff. But there is so much that goes into. It's not a simple answer of yes or no. There's so much that goes into it. Because I look at the circumstances around the disappearance. I look at pictures that may have been involved in their last known sightings. It's all that I put together before Spirit are happy enough to direct me to where I need to go, to whether I need to follow a path, whether I need to walk in a bush somewhere, whether I need to pinpoint a location. It is not just is that person still alive or not? And I know that you must be like, pulling your hair out, and you are so obviously so distressed. I'm not hearing, excuse me, I'm not hearing direct from a spirit to say that he is in spirit world. So I'm not getting that. So that's a positive. That puts me on the path of, I believe that he is still with us, because I'm not hearing directly, if he was in spirit, he'd be already like, jumping in saying, well, I'm here and I have a message for my bro type thing. And I'm not getting that. So I do believe that, he is still with us. But as to where and how and why he went missing and all that sort of stuff, as I said, that is a process. That is, that is something that I spend hours with the police force, going through, like, whatever information I can put together, before I can, like, be directed from spirit where to go from that point forward. If that has helped you a little bit, and so forth, and then I feel that that's at least something for you. But in hindsight, in the rest of it, as I said, it is a very long process that I go through, and I'm hoping in the short term that, because he didn't come through from spirit world, so because I feel he's still in this realm, I hope that offers you some comfort at this point. And yeah, and we may look at other things a bit later, but that's all I can give you right now. So thank you very much for your question. I do appreciate your frustration and your hurt and your anger over the scenario. Yes, and yeah. Christy, all you do is you go to the actual posting that the event as such. All you do is go to the event and press the share button. It's as simple as that. Because if you're watching the live feed, it comes up on the bottom, like, comment, or share, and then you just share the thing. It's that simple. So thank you for that. Marina, I'm scrolling down. You must have asked this question so many times. Wow. Okay. Melanie, not a problem. Not a problem at all. If you ever want to connect with me, you know where to find me. Okay. Rebecca, if you increase the magnesium, can you please make sure you take zinc in the afternoon as well? And make sure your B12 is an activated B12, because there's many people that I've known in the past that are taking 1,000 milligrams of a B12 a day, and there's actually not much in their system. It's because the B12 is not activated. So on the bottle, it will either say, it says, if it says nothing, it's not activated, because if it's activated, it actually has the word activated above the B12 word. And yeah, make sure magnesium 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then zinc in the afternoon. So I hope that helps. I'm saying like a specialist now. Tammy, I'm going to come to you. Anything in regards to my work? I'm having to change careers from nursing. That's going to be a bit tough. It's going to be a pretty tough transition. I'm just going to draw another card from another deck. Sorry, love. I just want to... Funny how both cards are talking about integrity. Okay, so okay. Wow. So what I get with you, Tammy, is that you've done. It's like you've done nursing, all your life, and I want to say to you, well, I want to stress my gratitude for you doing so, but I also feel the fear of if you can't do nursing and you need to do something else, the fear of doing something else because you haven't done you know, you virtually haven't done anything else apart from nursing all your life. I want, if I can, to try and get you to relax and get rid of the fear, because you're a person who actually learns things very, very quickly. And I've just got the card that says, you know, big life changes coming towards you. But you're a person that adapts pretty quickly if you don't allow the anxiety and the fear to capsulate together. Because when you've got anxiety and fear together, that can cause all sorts of issues, yeah? So you need to be very, very mindful of that. If you can override that and understand in yourself that you know that you're a quick learner, you know that you absorb information very well. I mean, God, nurses have to absorb a bucket load of information every single day, otherwise they couldn't do their job. All these sorts of things are already telling you that if you have to learn something different, you will absorb that information very, very well. Do not be fearful of doing this, because if the fear gets in the way, you will stumble through and you'll start to tell yourself that you're not very good. Yeah. So all these things have to change. I see you doing something and it's going to kill you, I guess, in the pardon the pun, you know, in the sense of nursing is running around doing lots of things, you know, a lot of the times. To see you behind a desk is really not quite the done thing. However, that's what Spirit is showing me, but they're also showing me that behind a desk is not going to be for a long time, because there's something else in the mix that they have in for you. And whether that's sitting at the desk but being able to get out and do other things on the road as such, then I see that you know, coming to light as well. So yeah, look, I think the biggest struggle with you is the anxiety and the fear has joined forces together, because you've been doing something for so long that you love, that all of a sudden you have to change that. Don't be frightened of change, lovey. So many people have had to change the mix and change up different things in their lives when COVID hit, and everybody, you know, I feel has adapted quite well. So sometimes when we're pushed into a change, it's actually easier to adapt because we're pushed. We're kind of forced to do it like straight away, rather than when we sit back and go, oh, do I really want to change in life or do I not? Because then you procrastinate too much and it just, you know, goes on from there. So I hope that helps you. Because yeah, it just it's more the fear that gets in the way. So please don't be fearful, yeah. Of course, I have to get my back pain under control before I get back in the workout. No problem, Kim. You know, I know you will. I know you'll take time, and you know, it's what's best for you, and yeah, and I feel like it's quite important. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty much the end of me. I was only going to come on for about an hour and a half. I know there's probably, if I scroll down, there's a lot of you that you know, have got questions. Please know that I'm on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. and Thursdays now at midday. So giving you guys, you know, 2 lots of times to do that. And yeah, I'm hoping that can satisfy a lot more people, and trying to do everything that I can to help as many as I can on here as well. If I have missed you today, please don't be offended, because it's just, as I say, I only see like 4 comments at a time, and if there's hundreds of comments, you know, I'll scroll down, but I try to get to as many as I can in the time that I've allocated. So I thank you for that. You know, it's, if you like and share the feed, of course it comes up, you know, I can see that, you know, that you've done that, and you know, that also indicates that you know, you're willing to do that for me as such. And you know, and henceforth, you know, the reward, if you know, want to call it that, is you getting the reading. Anybody that has anything that's really in depth, really personal, or they're really struggling as such, then you guys are the ones that really should have a proper session with me, because I'm qualified in other areas apart from connecting with spirit and things like that, and I can help you on many directions of your life. But I do appreciate everybody that has jumped on board today. It is the first time that I've done. I promised at the end of last year that I was going to come to do 2 lives a week, and that's what I'll do, and try to get to as many as possible, of course. So yes, enjoy the rest of your day. I thank you for coming on board today, and I've just seen my friend here from the United States jumping on and saying that. Thank you so much. Just a little heads up, him and I will be connecting on Instagram to bring you a different way, to people worldwide, on how to stay positive, how to embrace life, how to look at past traumas as moving forward and stuff like that. And that will be another special avenue that'll be coming up very, very soon. And so I hope you all guys look out for that as well. But that will be on Instagram, where we will do some live stuff. And the world, as we say, the world has changed under COVID, and there are many people who are struggling. Please reach out if you are struggling. There is always people to help. If you can't, obviously come to me. Please know on my website there I have a page that is just dedicated for phone numbers for anyone to call. Whether it's Lifeline, whether it's Beyond Blue, whether it's all sorts of places where you can get help. Those numbers are all listed, readily available on one of my pages, on my Ms Tique page. Please also know that I've separated my counselling away from Ms Tique. So my counselling, now is under Aspire to Inspire, and then I have a website and so forth with that as well, to keep that just a little bit separate. Natural born psychic, it's great to have psychic stuff just as that. When counselling was mixed into it, it kind of got a bit confusing for people. Now I've totally separated it. After a few years, I've separated the two of them, and worthy. It was time to separate it and have them. They're two very standout areas of my life that I work with. So it was time to separate it and to embrace that in a different manner. So so from my heart to yours, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe, and I will see you all again Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. So from my heart to yours for today. Enjoy, and I'll speak to you again soon. Okay, bye for now. Bye-bye.